guys. It's been a little while, hasn't it? It's another day, another dollar. I'm not gonna make this one too long. I know I say that all the time. I say that like every video. But I'm not gonna make this too long. Just my spirit just said record. And so here I am. And we received a lot. Okay? But like, ooh, I could really hit on the money. The message my elder sister shared with me today, because when I tell you the devil has been at work, y'all. The devil has been working hard. But you see, God, okay, that's, if you know me, you know, but like, if you don't, I interpret God as light. I mean, a lot of people do, so, you know, it's not that crazy. There you go, yeah. But, but I interpret God as light. And so, oh, is that a new update? Is that a pause? Oh, wow, you get to pause now. I'm not going to try it, though. I'm not going to try it right now, because I know it's going to make me mad if it tries to, like, cancel on me or whatever. But, yeah. Basically, the devil's been trying. The devil's been working hard, real hard, trying to get a lot of us out here, those who resonate will resonate. He's been trying to get a lot of us out here to just make choices that are not beneficial for what God has for us. Okay. And I had, you know, after hearing what my sister was saying, which I'm going to share in a moment, I really had to look at myself. And she was excited to tell me about it, because she just knew. It was a word for her. She just knew, you know. And it didn't align for me to go to church today. She would have asked me to accompany her to church. And I haven't been able to do that for a good little minute. And I was like, wow, it really aligned. But like, she didn't call me. The pattern wasn't, it wasn't subconscious for her to call me, because I probably would have said I had to work. But either way, that's not the point. The message, the pastor, okay? The pastor goes in on a story where he's like, you know, it's real funny when people get in situations where, you know, people who did them wrong, they are frustrated with them. They don't, you know, they're, you know, your emotions are valid. It's valid if somebody does you wrong and you clearly are upset by it. You don't want to deal with them no more, blah, 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 all these things, right? And, you know, it's a lot of us feel valid for our actions. You know, I'm saying, you know, a lot. I don't like that. A lot of us feel valid for our actions in these situations because of how we feel. But we're not paying attention to the actions is technically, you know, what they were doing to you. The person who did the situation in the first place, they came to you crooked again. And you're like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And the pastor was pulling out how it's not that I forgot. It's the fact that I want to tell this story a certain type of way, and I'm not telling it the way that my mind sees it, and I'm getting frustrated with myself. Okay, so bear with me, y'all, because I promise I'm a better storyteller than this. Okay, but at the end of the day, we're gonna get to what the point of this was, because I also got things to get to. You know what I'm saying? But God don't want you to rush, and we're not gonna rush. So basically, Let me just say I'm gonna say what the pastor said. So basically the pastor is like, you know, it's funny when we get in those situations and we get frustrated when a person who clearly has done us wrong comes in, and we feel valid for basically giving them what they given us. You know, if somebody tries to mess with you on a day that you don't, really, you know, I don't even fool with you. or you guys just aren't on the best terms and you're hitting a wall. You're hitting a wall, and it's like you keep adding things to the wall, though. The way you're responding based off of your emotions, you're adding shit. Okay? But it's valid, though. You're like, it's valid how you feel. It's not valid to react off of how you feel and do low vibrational things, saying that I get to do that because you made me feel this way, or you did this to me, etc. Because at the root of that, we get upset. We get upset with people who do us wrong and all these things, and we do things back to them. But then we don't want to pay attention to how we just allowed karma to come back and eat our ass. You walked away from that situation feeling like you gave them what they deserve, but now you just added mess to your life because you went low to meet them. Okay? All right? When you should have just gave it to God. You should have just gave it to God, because at the end of the day, for them to even show up and drop some mess off in your place, they already in trouble. Anybody is in trouble if they show up to one of God's children and drop something off that is negative and out of line for no reason. Not even, just in general. It's not right. Okay? It's not right for anybody to get away with doing it. So God handles all of that. All of that. Because we're not down here to handle each other. I know people have gotten carried away with that. I know it doesn't look like that. But the root of this is not the purpose. It's not the purpose for you to be down here shitting on other people and messing up their journeys. Leaving them with trauma that it takes them years and years to get over. And that's what's blocking them from getting to what God has for them. But it's like God did not plan for you to do that. And so my mom wants to go so much deeper. So much deeper. But it's like, we don't have the time for that today. That's not the point. The point, I really hope you guys are following me, because I am a little all over the place. And I'm getting, that's the authenticity of like my reality. There's a lot going on around here. There's always been a lot going on. It's just hard for people to see that on the outside. A lot of people got a lot going on. You got to ask them to see what are the specifics of that? What are the details? And when it comes to people who have done you wrong in the past, you got to give that to God. If they're in your reality now, say they're your family and they've done you wrong, you got to give it to God, because there's nothing that you can do about the choices that they make against you. Okay? And the day that they decide to bring that shit to you again, if they do, okay, you're going to have to make the choice again to give it to God. Because if you don't, the devil will use that to get to you. All right? And my sister pulled it out and connected it to her own journey in certain things that had popped up for her along the days. You know what I'm saying? And it really helped me see it even more. Her pulling out how this has showed up. She thought it's like, this is what it was. I forgot the rest of the pastor had added was, this all leads to how we have to forgive. See, I almost forgot it again. This was the biggest thing of the whole message. Of like, the only way that you can give it to God is by forgiving. Forgiving. That, look, you did what you did. You're human. You're human. That does not mean that I need to reconnect with you. That does not mean that I need to do all of this extra stuff so you could know that I've forgiven you. And all. No. I forgive you. Okay? I don't have no bad blood against you. I've moved on from that situation. So if they decide to come back, you're not triggered. If they decide to send something your way, you're not triggered. There's no way for them to access you. There's no way. All right. Meaning you have nothing. You have all the room to continue staying aligned with God. Because as soon as you entertain what they're bringing to you, that's when you let the devil in. And you don't realize it because you feel valid. You told God, oh, well, like, I don't care about that no more. I don't care about that person. I don't care about what they did, blah, 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 blah. I'm over it. I forgave them, etc., etc. I'm moving on. God gonna test you. God tests all of us. So at a random moment, my elder sister thought that she was over something. She thought she had forgiven something truly. And it came back to her doorstep this week. Okay. It came back and God aligned her on Sunday with that message because he wanted her to see that as soon as you decided to give that situation attention when you had told me that you have forgiven it, you are not going to allow it to take you out of anywhere. You are not going to take it in your own hands and do anything against that situation. Because if you do, anything that you're doing it's not going to be positive. Because if you look at it positively, there's no reason to engage. If you look at it through the eyes of, I'm not over that shit. Oh, you're going to engage and you're going to create something so like, whoa, that you're going to be like, what is happening? What is happening, God? I thought you had my back. And God going to be like, yeah, I have your back. I'm right here. I'm right here. You just didn't want to pay attention to the fact that you told me you was over that. You told me you was over that. So I sent it to you. I sent it to you to see if you was over it. Okay, you clearly not over it. And at the end of the day, that means that later on, when I give you what you've been sitting here asking for, I can't give it to you yet because you're gonna give it away. You're gonna lose it because you don't know how to control and give to me or give me the things that I'm supposed to be handling. That's why you got to forget that shit. That it does nothing for you. It's not for them. You're forgiving it for you and what you have for you. And there's a lot of stuff that, just taking this further, how her story helped me see my story. There's a lot of stuff that your girl was like, it's still in me. Okay. Now I've been forgiven for a long time. Okay. If you don't know my story, like one day you may. Not even one day you may. One day you will. Though at the end of the day, like, for the ones that know now parts of my story and my journey on this life, in this life, it's like there's just been a lot to forgive. Okay? There's been a lot to forgive. So you could get tired. You could get drained. You can feel like, oh my gosh, why am I always being the bigger person? Like you could get a little bitter. Just a little bit, over the fact of like, bruh, why do I have to always let it go? Forget. But it's like, because it's not in your control. It's not in your control. And that's what keeps the chaos coming. Like you have all this other shit that you got to clean up when I already got a journey mapped out with trials and tribulations to get you to where I'm trying to get you. Okay. And you're getting distracted because you entertain certain things that you just need to let go. You need to forgive them for that because they're human just like you. You want me to forgive you when you do dumb stuff. And that's what the pastor said too. We were wanting God to forgive us, but then we look at another person who did some weird shit to us and we don't want to forgive them. And that's what we have to really look at. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy. Like, it is hard. She had to call me immediately, tell me about this because it hit and blew the back of her face out because she really thought she had dealt with it. Really thought, and it came back to her far away from when, like, she had not dealt with this in a minute, over a year plus, okay? And it snuck up on her, and she really engaged, was like, yeah, I got time today, and I'm like, oh, and it came back, and all of this is happening, like, all of this stuff is happening, and within 48 hours, she said, God sent the pastor, and told her about herself. Told her, hold on. And God sent her to me. Told her about herself because she has been, there's information that I've been able to release to her to get her to see, kind of pieces of what I'm dealing with. And just information, like just stuff that I had to realize I'm adding chaos because I'm not trying to forgive. Ooh, the sun came out a little bit. Because I was giving a little bit of truth. I'm not trying to forgive. Like, I know I have to forgive. I just have to understand my system is having issues with understanding that forgiveness, it does not mean reconnection, Kaylin. It does not mean that you have to be cool with them. It does not mean that you have to give energy. That's not rude. It's not rude for me to take my energy back. It's not rude for me not to have, like, why do I have to acknowledge you every time we're around? Like, it shouldn't be that deep. It really shouldn't be that deep. Why do I have to give you support? Like, there's millions, billions of us walking this world. I'm really trying to understand what is my energy. Why is my energy important? Okay. If I remove it. And that's always just been a problem. Growing up, I understand a little bit why. Okay. And why people do not tell me how they feel, because they don't want to not be cool with me. They just want to be cool with me a certain type of way. And so it's like, that's weird. And so, either way, I'm realizing how to just see the truth of it and not trust myself. That's what it connects to. It connects to just trusting myself and realizing that in these moments that I no longer align with you for whatever reason, or you did something weird with me, and I'm trying to move through forgiving that and not feeling like there's a way we're going to end up back around each other, or we're going to end up like, engaging with each other when it probably, most situations that I've had to forgive, the person never apologized, or they apologized in a fake way and thought I didn't know that they were bluffing, or they just, at the end of the day, they just weren't intentional. Like, they didn't care. They're only doing it because I'm saying something about it, not because they recognize and they know, like, if they were on the other two, like, they would not like that, and they would have felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm realizing that, and since I'm realizing that, God is like, okay, so that's been the disconnect here with you not being able to forgive people effectively. Because I've forgiven a lot of stuff. It's just I have more to forgive and just let go of and give to God. It's not my business. It never was. And I have to realize that a lot of choices and pain that has been inflicted upon me, to me, whatever, the words, all of this different stuff, that is it. It don't have nothing to do with me. A lot of that stuff is really projections of self. It's you. You're saying what you're dealing with most of the time. And you try to tell me about me like I don't know what I'm dealing with. I could more likely tell you a lot that I'm dealing with, more likely better than what you know you're dealing with. Because you probably don't even pay attention to yourself. I've been paying attention to myself since I was a kid. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying I've been working at this. Like, there are things that I still have so much more to learn, because we are beings, like, we're extremely complex. But people barely even know the surface. And no, I'm sorry. We're just on two different levels when it comes to that, because you're just not able to hold really that much of a conversation about where you stand with yourself. And that's fine. Just understand that, one, you don't have to stay there, okay? You could learn more and pull out, grow. Two, other people they do not have to come down to where you are to meet you at where you are choosing to stay, okay? Because we always have a choice to evolve. People are making choices, and they're making the choices based off of their circumstances and saying that I have no choice. You do have a choice. We all have a choice. I understand your circumstances are your circumstances, but understand that's for a reason. If you really look at your circumstances, you more than likely kind of put yourself in that situation and you didn't even know because of all the other circumstances that you have. And that can sound complex. So complex, it's too much for you. That's an attention span. Like, there's so many different reasons why we move the way we move, and people don't really want to talk about that. I'm the type of person that, okay, well, that's fine, but I want to talk about that because that really solves a lot of problems. That helps us figure out where we're going and what's next. And a lot of people are stuck for no reason because they don't have people around them who give a fuck, or they are just kind of like, they don't want to do it. It's too much for them. They were never taught that. They never saw it be successful based off of their surroundings, experience, whatever. Either way, because we got carried away. Oh my gosh, 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. So either way, bro, look, keep being the best you. Keep being the best you. Forgive. Okay. I'm a work in progress. I have not forgiven everything. I'm still figuring out because I'm waking up to the aspect that I'm kind of tricking myself on the trust that I have in me, in knowing that, bro, I'm not going to reconnect with you. I've just given a lot of fucking grace over the years. Like, I really was the type that if you did me wrong, I just knew, even when you did me wrong, that somehow I was going to end up allowing myself to be friends with you again or forgive. Like, it's kind of crazy how I was training myself to just kind of make peace with a lot of people over and over again when they kept doing weird stuff. And now I have to understand after a certain point that, bro, I just kept training people how to treat me because, bro, I know y'all saw that was weird. I know that y'all felt the way you felt. And then you still allow me to come back and act like it was me and be your friend. When you know that you was in other situations being weird about me. Whoo, that's something. And I take them back. So it's kind of like, Caitlin, okay, I just didn't have enough love for myself. That's why it's important at the end of the day that you love yourself first and more than you love others. All right? Because the more you love yourself, I'm telling you, that's the more that you're going to love others. But at the end of the day, you're going to have discernment. You're going to understand that you can't give that to everybody. You cannot give that to everybody. Everybody does not deserve all your love. There's too many people in the world. Let somebody else do it. Get somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got genuine love and this shit is pure, and God right there beside me, letting me know the whole time. 22 on the time. All right. The whole time that that's how you do it, baby. That's how I want all of y'all to do it. But I understand that some of you are lost. I understand that we all come with different things. We wrote certain contracts. If you know, you know. Okay? There's things that we have to learn down here. And if you come down here and you decide that you want to make choices not to learn shit and do what you want to do, that's fine. Just understand that comes with consequences. Everything got consequences. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing. Everything got a reason. I want magic. My life has been magic, but I want even more magic than what my life has already been. If you know, you know. The people who've aligned with me, they know. The ones who really align. They've seen the magic, the moments that happen in my life that are just kind of like, whoa. You know that's God. You know that's God.